What up guys, Unwanted Bruja here, and today I am back to show you how to make that hot foot powder. Probably wondering, I wonder what this bitch is gonna use that hot foot powder for. Well, I'm gonna tell you now that my little mission of getting rid of negative energy and negative people at my workplace is not quite over yet. So that is what I'm doing with this hot foot powder. And I am actually getting over a cold. I sound a little nasally and kind of congested. That's because of that. And I'm actually going to use that to my advantage, and you will see how within this video. I know some witches will not perform magics when they're sick because they feel like it bogs down their psyche and they cannot get as much power implemented into their workings. But I feel differently about that. I feel like sickness is an energy that would be very good in a darker working, in a negative working. And that's what I'm going to be doing that here for. So I'll show you how to utilize that. I'm just getting over my sickness, so it's not at its peak or anything, so I don't feel like shit. Everything's just kind of draining right now. But I'm still contagious. So yeah, this is gonna seem kind of fucked up to some people, but if you don't want to see that type of magic, then you should probably get the fuck off my channel, because I'm honest here and I'll play around. When people cause me problems, then I will fight back. I don't just sit around passively and let people do shit to me. That's not me. I'm a fucking Capricorn. I will hurt you. So if this sort of magic sounds interesting to you and you're approaching this with a judge-free mind and just here to learn, or just simply to make your own hot foot powder better, then stick around and I will show you how to make my own personal hot foot powder. Here I have some opium incense. If you have dragon's blood, that would work perfect. I have some sulfur, black peppercorns, a white candle, cayenne pepper. You'll need an empty jar, a spoon if you wish, a red candle. I have some tiger's eye and hematite to power this working, some black salt, some crushed red pepper, and I have some dried chili peppers. You'll need your mortar and pestle, and I got my incense going, my graveyard dirt, and I have a white candle just for some extra lighting because I want to use just stagnant negative energy for this. This right here, guys, is how you use your own sickness as the plague itself. Yes, I coughed into that jar 3 times. So after coughing into that jar, I am going to go in with the sulfur, and I used 4 spoonfuls here. You do not need to use that much. A little will go a long way, but I chose to use this amount because I know a lot of people do not like it, and that is why. So sulfur will help get rid of people. It'll release negative energy. So right here, I'm using this specifically to make people run for the hills because they do not like this scent. It repels them, and that's what I want. And per usual, I am going to enchant after every ingredient added. So next up, I am going in with the graveyard dirt. And this is to put negative energies and people to rest. I want this shit to stop, is what this signifies. I got this graveyard dirt at the Sumner's Cemetery. And this cemetery is old, guys. It's been around since 1864. So it has some history. And I believe the more history a cemetery has, the more powerful the dirt is. Next up, I am going in with my cayenne pepper, and this is to make the hot foot powder work fast, to make this person extremely uncomfortable. And you guys can use way more than what I used. Some people prefer to have their powder actually more on the red side. I do not care so much about what it looks like visually as long as it is strong. I need this to be strong powder. Next up, I'm going in with my black salt. As you guys can see, I'm getting low. I'm going to have to make some. I was lucky and my best friend bought me that one, but I'm going to make my own, and I can show you guys how to do that also. So you guys don't have to spend all your money on everybody else's stuff, unless you want to. It's always nice to support people. So I'll teach you guys how to do that. And I'm going to be using this black salt to banish any negativity. Next up, I am going in with the crushed red pepper flakes. And this is to make them feel anxious, to make them feel unwanted, unwelcomed. If they stay any longer, then something bad could possibly happen, so they're going to leave right now. I actually went back in and added a lot more red pepper flakes than that. I basically used the whole bottle because I felt like I wanted that to be stronger. Next up, I'm going in with the black peppercorns. And black peppercorns are good for getting rid of people, or putting some negative bullshit to rest, so to speak. So that is what I'm going to be using them for here. You don't necessarily have to crush your peppercorns up. I've seen people use them whole, but I just felt like bashing them down and releasing some more anger. So as I crush them, then I can focus more on the task at hand, and I feel like I am also adding more intent, more energy into it when I'm breaking them down. No pain, no gain, they say. And these chili peppers here, man, they were strong. I was crushing these down. It felt like someone shoved one of these chili peppers at my nose. My nose was on fire. I sneezed a couple times, but I kept breaking it down. So the energies are strong within these dried chili peppers. And that's the sensation that I want. I want it to be so strong that they can't stay there any longer, that they have to get out. Okay, I finally added everything, so now I'm going to place some more extra energy into this and chant my incantation a few times. Run fast, run quick. The longer you shall stay, the more you will feel sick. So now I'm going to place my lid onto my jar, and I'm going to shake it. Yep, I'm going to shake my jar. I am not going to stir the contents. I know a lot of other witches would stir their contents, but I feel like shaking it helps to aggravate it and wake it up so it knows that it can start working now. So now I'm grabbing my red candle and I'm going to run it through my white candle from the base so I can stick it onto my lid without having it fall over when it is burning. And this red candle represents the fiery hatred that is going into this hot foot powder. So here's the point in time where I would place as much energy as I can into this as the candle is burning. So I'm going to chant my incantation as many more times as I feel like I need to. Run fast, run quick. The longer you shall stay, the more you will feel sick. When I am done with that, I'm going to grab my 2 stones that I felt like would be good to empower this working. So I'll place my hematite and my tiger's eye right next to it and let my candle burn all the way down. Alright guys, so that is how I make my own personal hot foot powder. And yes, you saw me cough into that jar because I am trapping my sickness and that negative stagnant energy that has been clung onto my person straight into my work to make it stronger. You do not have to do that. This was a very good timing for me to do so. I decided to just utilize what I had and make it that much more powerful. Sickness is powerful, guys. It may be gross, maybe a little bit too much for some of you. So if that's not your cup of tea, then don't do it. I chose to do so because I have some stubborn people in my life that I really want to get rid of, and I want this to be strong. And as you noticed, the color of my hot foot powder is not red like this candle. And I chose to use a red candle because it represents anger, hatred, fire, that passionate, like bullheaded, fiery rage. And that's what I want into this. I want it to be fire. I want to light a fire underneath these people's asses so they get the fuck out of here, leave, and quit making my, place feel uncomfortable for me. So I'm just going to transfer over that uncomfortableness to such an extreme that they will want to get the fuck up and run for the hills. So that's what this hot foot powder does, long story short. If you guys want to add more cayenne pepper in there to make it a true red, you can, but the color does not matter so much. It does not. It's the potency of, the smell will get into their senses. I added a lot of sulfur. People cannot stomach that so much. I think it just smells like a natural hot spring. It really doesn't even bother me. The thing that bothers me the most, I would think, would probably be these chilies. When I started crushing these up is when my senses started getting sneezy. But I am already, kind of sick. My nose is sensitive, so it could have affected me a little bit more, but a lot of people are sensitive to these chili peppers, so I crushed one whole one up. You can do a lot more than that. I added pretty much all my crushed red pepper flakes. I decided to add more, so I pretty much added the whole bottle. Yes, I really want to get rid of these motherfuckers, so I added a lot. And I'm gonna let this red candle burn all the way down. It's gonna go all over my jar. It's gonna seal in that hatred, that fiery rage that's within this hot foot powder. So I'm gonna sprinkle this in these people's spaces, anywhere that they would walk, anywhere that they can smell it and it can go into their sinuses. And yeah, it's gonna fuck them up. Really, it really is. They're not gonna get sick and die. I'm not gonna kill anybody with this working. No, I'm not about that life. Okay. I might do some messed up shit, but I'm not gonna fucking kill anybody, okay? So don't get the wrong idea here. This is just to get negative people out of my life. So, and that's what this is going to do. You guys can feel free to email me at onefitbruja@outlook.com. I think I do have it linked in my about section or in one of those little links over there. So go ahead and click on that and shoot me an email if you don't want to place it in the comments, and I will get back to any questions, video requests, or whatever it is that you want to ask me. Until next time, guys, I will see all you lovely little brujitas later.